Hi guys, welcome back to Snark and Spark. My name is Emily and this is my channel, and I'm not wearing my headphones because I've got my microphone, which is awesome. Like if you saw my Stitch With Me video, I was using it there. So I've got this awesome blue snowball mic. I love it. My husband insisted I buy it, so I did. And got my camera up here. Oh, I'm sorry, that is probably so loud because I was trying to like sneakily open my Pib down here where the camera can't see, but of course that is right in line with the microphone. I hope you enjoyed that moment of ASMR. Oh no. It's a day. Welcome back to Iowa. Welcome back to me. It is currently snowing. We are in like amidst of a snowstorm. We're supposed to be getting anywhere from like 4 to 8 inches of snow plus ice, and I'm a little nervous. Luckily I got off at 1 o'clock today, so I was home and I picked up my son and made it home. It would like just really started when it was time to pick up my son from school, so we got home safe and sound. I ran out, put some ice melt down on our sidewalks in our driveway, but still it is coming and it's supposed to pretty much do this all night. And my husband is obviously at work and he's supposed to be at work until 8 p.m. and that makes me really nervous. So I've been keeping like an eye on the weather and keeping an eye on like closings. There's Eisenhower. Keeping an eye on just the happenings and stuff, because we have already seen news and pictures from the cities that have already been hit, and in one of those places it was like whiteout conditions. So fingers crossed that if he can come home early, and if he can't, that he gets home safely. So that's where we're at. But I'm here to do just a regular Flosstube. I am not going to be doing a homework video because I am pleased to announce, if you haven't seen it already, that Sammy J Stitches and I did a collab last night, and we filmed the homework video for Magical Stitches, and we talked about Sid Sane events and the daily 30 prompts that are going on. So I'm not going to repeat myself because I have already covered that over there. So if you want to see that and you want some help on the homework, go to Sammy J Stitches channel and I'll figure out how to link it. But go to her channel and watch that video. She posted it. It is up. It is live. So check that out. We had a great time filming it. Lots of laughs, and just I had a great time. She is a genuinely wonderful person, and as someone who has watched her videos before creating my own channel and then have continued to watch her videos as I've been doing this and as I've joined the different groups and have started to branch out and become more invested and involved in the stitching community, especially online, I find her just a really refreshing voice. I think she is a breath of fresh air. So I have a feeling several of you have either found me from that video. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Emily. Thank you for coming. But if you don't, I'm shocked. Please go subscribe to her, watch her videos, give her some love. She's such a nice person. So, and that was really a lot of fun. I look forward to doing more things with her, and hopefully being able to record with her again, or just to talk to her again. That was so much fun. I had such a good time last night, and it definitely turned my weekend around. I had quite a frustrating weekend. So just for context, the Stitch With Me video that got posted, originally 100% plan to have that posted on Saturday. If you haven't watched it, no big deal. I just work on a piece that I'm going to show you anyways, and I just kind of ramble about who I am. It's just a little way to get to know me. I explain mainly just my name. I answered some questions, like get to know me questions, talk about my name. I did explain why I named my channel Snark and Spark, so if you are interested in that, you can check it out, but you're not missing a lot. It was just something new I wanted to try. But I had tried to use a very specific video software, editing software, and I spent hours. I spent literally my entire day taking care of this video. I sat down at like 11:30. I started filming. I wrapped it up right before 12:30, and then I immediately threw it into this editor and was uploading it. And I don't have a lot of experience with editing software, so it was a brand new learning experience. And between looking up tutorials for how to use the software and then looking up tutorials for what these things mean and how to make something look nice and basic video editing tips and stuff, I spent hours working on that video, to the point where I don't mind to show you. I had edited it. I had even created a title sequence that had music and a cool intro that said my channel name, and I had put in little captions, as I was editing and I thought something funny, I typed it in. So I had little text pop-ups on my video. I think I already deleted it. I did delete it. That's okay. But I had created this beautiful video. In my opinion, it was beautiful, and I had spent so much time and effort on it. So I didn't even get to start exporting it until 5 o'clock, and then it took a while to export, just to open it up after export to see that this particular software had watermarked my footage. Now, normally, not a big deal. Wouldn't care. We've seen watermarks. They're the little icons in the corner of your video that say property, copyright or property of whoever. If you have a professional photographer take pictures, gosh, that's a tongue twister. They will watermark their pictures so you can't just make copies of them or whatever. It is their property, intellectual property. Blah blah blah. Fully understand. And I knew that I was using the free version of the software, and it said, you can do whatever. When it exports, though, there will be a watermark. And I'm thinking, yeah, watermark. No. I was so mad. I was so mad. And I don't want to get that angry again, but basically what it did to me was bullshit. So when I open the footage and I just pull it up and look at it, across the entire middle of my video is a banner. A thick banner that grays out the rest of my footage that says this particular video editing software's name. Just smack dab right over the center of my video with this giant banner. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't move it. I couldn't get rid of it. I couldn't shrink it down and just move it to the corner. I totally understand the concept of doing the watermark, because it then lets other people be oh, they used that particular software, I'll give it a try. If I had known it would have done that, I never would have spent the 6 hours it ended up taking me to put all of that work and effort in just for them to do that. And then on top of it, I was so mad. I was I just wanted my husband to hear my intro because I was so proud of myself. I feel that took the longest because I had to source copyright free, free use music, royalty free music that was okay, and then also find one that I actually liked and wasn't just some cheapy sound effects, something I actually wouldn't mind having attached to my videos and my like name. And then I actually made myself like a fun little title sequence where it was like I had a box and it popped up and it said Snark and Spark and it had these cool little like animated designs, and I was able to time it so that they moved in time to the beat of the song, and I was just so stinking proud. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm like, you know what, fine, whatever, just watch this intro. And I'm looking at him like staring at his face, so hopeful, like, what do you think? Do you love it? Like, you have to tell me you love it, because I need to know that you love it. Like, I'm so frustrated and I'm so mentally exhausted. And he gets this look on his face, like, and I'm sitting there like, what? Like, does he not like the song? Like, what's going on? No, he had me listen to it. Not only did they plaster this giant watermark, they watermarked my audio. I didn't know this was a thing. But basically, every 3 to 5 seconds, it was as if someone was striking a key on a piano. And it would go, boom. I think Eisenhower wants to go outside. 1 second. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, every 3 to 5 seconds, it was like someone pressed a key on a piano and it would ding, ding, ding. And it was so loud, and it occurred every so many seconds, and it completely drowned out me talking and my audio. And I just lost it. There goes Kennedy. I was furious. I was so mad because there was no way that I could salvage that. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to, like, I was like, do I have to put it into like another software and try and, like, I don't know how to like isolate sounds and get rid of that, or like, no, I'm so like, I just, so I just shut everything down Saturday night. It was like, screw it, I'm done, I'm taking a break. I was just in such a bad mood. And then I got up Sunday morning and felt awful, like physically felt awful. I had a really bad headache that lasted all day, and I had lower back pain, and I was dealing with like abdominal cramps, and I was really grumpy and really moody. And I was in such a bad mood, and I was still so mad. And it was just one of those headaches that like starts right back here, like right behind your ears, and it just radiates up across your whole head. And I was like, fine, screw it. You know what? I still filmed this video. It's still a fine video. I still had like the raw, unedited footage. And I'm like, you know what? There's nothing that says I can't still upload this and do what I've been doing before I was using this software. I can still make good videos and I can still post it. So that's what I did. But that was my story time, where I was very ragey this weekend. So then by the time Sunday came and I uploaded it, and I immediately got such good feedback of people being like, this is great. For everyone who commented saying that they really enjoyed it, or that they liked getting to know me, that it was a good video. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys have no idea how much that made my mood improve, just made my day better, because I was in such a bad mood. So thank you so much for the encouragement and the feedback. And I definitely want to do more Stitch With Me's. I don't think they'll be like a very regular thing. I'm trying to kind of look at my schedule. You know, I've got my planner here, and I will be working on filling out like the February monthly. So I've already I'm holding it way back, but I've already started to fill in like some dates and stuff. Because I want to start trying to schedule in maybe bi-weekly like Stitch With Me's, just to kind of switch it up and to bring different content to my channel. I still want to do uploads. I want to do Kennedy and my child are doing something weird. So I know that's going to be a really abrupt cut when I edit this. My son needed to come through, but he didn't want to interrupt my filming, so he decided to army crawl on the floor from the living room. But I was like, what's my dog doing? And he's like right there. So I paused it and was like, you can get up and walk through. You don't have to crawl. But every day, something new. Oh, goodness. I got completely derailed. I don't even... Yes. All right, for you, it's just been a couple seconds. For me, it's been a couple minutes. I want to keep doing homework videos. They've been ridiculously helpful to a lot of people who are in Magical Stitches, and I've had a lot of people say thank you and to ask me and Sammy and us to continue doing this, especially since Sammy covers it in the video, but I want to highlight it here. Moving forward, the headmistress Vicky wants to get away from doing question threads in Magical Stitches. So like for the month of January, she'll post a homework and then be like, question thread for week 4 homework, where you can ask your questions if you don't understand something about the prompt. And she wants to move away from that. She does not want to do question threads, and I totally understand. The hundreds of comments that get made, and a lot of them are repeat questions, it's overwhelming, and she does get overwhelmed, and I want to help give her that break. So she is not going to be continuing doing question threads, but has said it's okay if you post a question, and is definitely trying to foster this team element. Like, depend and rely on each other. You know, reach out, ask your question to the huge brain trust that is Magical Stitches, or when we get divided into our teams or our different camps, ask your campmates, your teammates, to really help you, because maybe you have the same whip as someone else, or maybe they've interpreted the prompt differently than you have, and you can help each other, and creativity is never going to be penalized in this group. Magical Stitches loves creativity and storytelling and crafting a feasible storyline that works. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. And she, like I said, she wants to move away from these question threads. So I will personally continue to make homework videos, so that way I would have a source. You can turn and look to my channel for help. You can look to Sammy's channel for help, or to Lisa's channel for help, to other people who make homework videos. But definitely don't be afraid to seek us out, seek me out, watch my videos, ask me questions, ask questions directly in the group. But definitely, if you become a part of these question threads, make sure you look through them. Maybe you don't necessarily have to read every single comment, but give it a quick glance, because a lot of times it's the same question over and over that's already been answered, but people don't see that it's been answered, or they don't necessarily read it, so they just ask again, and it's just take a look. No problem though. I was going from Stitch With Me to planning, but anyways, I still want to do planning, or I still want to do homework videos. I might change when I release those. I haven't decided yet, but I definitely think homework videos are going to be separate from my regular Flosstube. I think I want to do homework videos, but I want to do like Flosstube updates, where I'm just kind of rambling. I just am letting you guys know some updates of my week, show you what I was working on, talk about things that I'm interested in, and keep that as like my Flosstube kind of chatty videos. But then I do want to introduce as well the Stitch With Me's. So I'm thinking I might do like a bi-weekly, twice a month. I did one last week, so maybe not this week, but next week, the first week of February. Probably not, because I will be traveling. But you get the point. I do want to incorporate them into my channel, and I want to have more of a schedule. I can't promise that I'll always follow a schedule, but I definitely do better when I have a schedule and I have a routine and structure. And I know this about myself, and I just think I could produce better content and I would be much happier if I schedule this. So yeah, I'm not trying to overload myself, but I am trying to be more conscientious of my time and what I do with my time and where it goes. So we'll see. I talk with my hands. I didn't realize how much I talked with my hands until I sat down and started filming myself, and then I almost did it again. Until I started, like recording, and then I see myself, and then when I watch it back, and I'm like, I wiggle around so much. I think my dogs went in. There's a child down here. He can let them in.
I got it, Mom.
Thanks, bud. Okay. So, let's talk some Tubi stuff. Let's talk floss. So I did not work on Letters from Hogwarts this week. I took a break from that, which I think was good. I don't want to get burned out on it. I have definitely burned myself out on projects before, and then I don't touch them for months at a time. And I don't want to do that with this, since it is supposed to be for my baby niece, and I want to get it done within this first year of her life. So while it is a focus piece, I also know myself enough where to take breaks from it. That way I don't get burned out. And I did find myself like missing it this week and like wanting to work on it. So I take that as a good sign. So I'm actually really excited to get back to it this week. But so I worked on, again, the prompts were to work on your 2 oldest whips. Or the prompt was to work on your oldest whip, or you could choose to work on your 2 oldest whips, or you could do penalty. And I chose to do my 2 oldest. This is Book Lover's Bookshelf. I did some of this with you guys. I put 500 stitches in this. Doo-doo. It's coming along. I feel like this was actually a really good piece to do with my Stitch With Me, because there isn't a whole lot of counting involved. Because there's so many color changes, and so it's really, like, the max is like rows of 4. So this was actually a really nice piece to do with you guys, because I didn't have to concentrate so hard to make sure I didn't mess anything up. So I worked on that. And then my next oldest whip is the Australian Dragon Mirabilia piece. That was one of the free patterns. Oh, I just look at it. It's so pretty. I love it. I finished the wing. I finished this wing, and then I did the back stitching for these guys, the like antenna, and then nope. And then I backstitched. I did all the back stitching for this wing, and then I started on the lower wings, and I went ahead and finished up using the this like dark turquoise color. Whatever. This dark turquoise color, because I was also beading, and so I've like finished. Normally I do like one wing at a time and finish the entire wing and then start the other side, but because this blue was only in these 2 remaining sections, I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish using this blue. And I did. So much fun. But these guys are going away. That's going to be put up, and I'm going to pull back out Letters from Hogwarts, and I'm going to do all 1,000 stitches on that. So I also thumbs up a lot, and I'm not quite sure why I do that. I don't thumbs up a lot in real life, but apparently I do in my videos. I don't know. It's a quirk. I need to pull out my... Oh. He really likes to look out this front window. My stuff is kind of in the way. Let me pull up my planners. I've got my little stitchy planner. And I've got my like life catch-all planner, which I did film this. I made this like collage spread. At this point, it's gonna probably repeat a lot because I've had to stop this multiple times trying to just say this one section. And between being interrupted by the dogs and my kid, I can't seem to get it out. So I'm sorry if this is, you're like, you just said this. But yes, so I filmed this, and it was mainly just, like, I don't talk in it. I'm not even sure how much of the audio gets picked up. I actually think you probably hear my husband playing video games next to me, but it was really just to get used to using this camera and to use this stand that's over here to do like a top down and just seeing where to position it, how to hook up the camera to it, how to then position the camera within the stand to get the shot that I want, what kind of lighting, blah, 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 and just, it was mainly just me playing around. But I might upload it just because I can. I have the footage still. It was fun to create this. I just kind of needed a little crafty evening. And so I did. It took me, I don't know how long the video is. I'll have to look. But I did. I just made this little collage and then I left it to dry. So I have this in my planner and I kind of like it. It's just this, like, we have the pink baby girl spread. And then these were just 2 blank pages between the next spread. These are like notes pages. And like, I've done it there too. There's just notes. And like I usually jot down notes on things. Like this was about homework and school magical stitches and semi-sane. But they come with like 2. And so then I just created this, like, I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have to take notes on anything. So I just made a little collage. And I like it, actually. I really do. I still need to do, look at all the stickers I put on this past week. I still need to set up my planner for this week. I need to do that. But yeah, they just like blank note pages. So I would like, I'm sorry, I just hit the mic with my planner. So yeah. This is the last week of January. It's exciting. So I will be setting up my planners. I will probably do like a walkthrough of this since it'll be all done. I've got the February one. I will do a flip through of the February Silk and Sonder because I've got it and I'm excited. And then I've got my book planner. And I will be doing monthly. I feel like I got so distracted. I'm like way off track now, and I don't even remember why I had my planners pulled out. Just know, coming up, I will be doing a homework monthly video where I will go over the February monthly prompts for reading, what the monthly prompts are for stitching, along with the first, week of February's homework. I will do a semi-sane February overview for the events happening in semi-sane. I might do a wrap-up video for January. I might not. I don't see. Last time I said I wasn't going to do something, I did it anyways. But I don't see the whole point in doing like a January wrap-up because I've been showing you guys my progress each week as I've done it. So I don't really feel the need to be like, it's the end of January and this is what I did. I don't feel the need to do that. But I will be going over all the events and what's happening. There will probably be separate videos. There'll be a Magical Stitches video and there'll be a semi-sane video. I'm hoping that Daily 30 opens soon. It is currently a closed group and I'm hoping it opens soon. I would love to join. Sammy and I were talking about it last night. I would love to join. So fingers crossed. And then I would have that in my rotation as well to share with you guys and, fun stuff. But I'm really looking forward to February coming up. February, my birthday is in February. My husband's birthday is in February. It's a great month. Both of us, we don't really do Valentine's Day because both of our birthdays are in February, and then our anniversary is actually in March. So Valentine's Day is really just a day for us to give each other really cheesy Valentine's Day cards, and that's about it, which is that's what I personally want. But I really like February. February is great, and I'm excited for everything that's going to come. WIPGO numbers are being drawn on the 27th. I can't wait to see what projects I'm supposed to focus on for February and what my reading prompts are going to be on my reading WIPGO board for February. I am just ready. I feel very prepared. I am just ready for information to be given so I can start planning and tracking. So yeah, I feel like I've rambled. This is a very talky video. This is a very rambly video, but I want to wrap up with what I read this week and what I watched this week, and I think that'll be about it. I'll let you go. I returned Jane Eyre. I did not watch it a third time, but I timed it back in this last week, so it is gone. It is out of my house. But I was on a big hoarders kick last week. I finished season 4 of Hoarders in I was halfway through, and I finished the rest of the season in a day or two. Then So I didn't really watch a lot besides that. I was on YouTube a lot. I watched a lot of YouTube videos this week, and honestly, I don't quite know what triggered this, but I think I will. So I like video games. I am not necessarily a gamer. I enjoy video games, and there are some that I do like to play, but I am awful at video games. I am really bad at them. My husband becomes incredibly entertained when I play video games because, for context, for explanation, this will all make sense. He tried to introduce me to playing video games with Assassin's Creed because I knew about it. I had heard about it. I was familiar with it. My sister had played it and was like, "You should try it." So he tried to get me to play Assassin's Creed, and I would apologize. I'd run through the streets and push someone, and I would apologize. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Get out." And I would say, "Excuse me." And I really, really sucked at being an assassin because I didn't like to kill people. And that's the whole point of that game. And I would be like, "Do I have to kill them?" And I would apologize right before I would kill anyone or say sorry. And he found that very, very funny. So I do enjoy video games, and I like to watch video games, and I'm actually, which I do, so I do follow gaming channels on YouTube and stuff, along with Flosstube and everything, because I enjoy watching other people play, especially story-driven games. I really like it if it has a really good storyline. And I saw that one of the YouTubers that I subscribe to and I really enjoy, Jacksepticeye, was playing. He started the new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 8 Village or whatever. And then it triggered this jumpstart in my brain, and so then I started looking up all of the Resident Evil games and gameplay of the old ones. And so then I was watching old long plays of people playing the 90s era Resident Evil with the low quality, but I don't care. I was on a kick, and I was like, I'm just going to ride this kick because I want to. So I watched a lot of Resident Evil video game play. Just not the actual Resident Evil films, but they're based off the games. I don't know. It was weird. But you can see I wrote in my planner. I was just on it. I have this like Snow White sticker here, and it says, starting to really itch for February WIPGO numbers and extra credit prompts for magical stitches. Like, and it's my Snow White. I'm just so ready for it. But let's talk about books, because I finished 2 books last week, and oh my goodness. So I finished 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. What in the world? Like, what? I liked it. I really did. I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting it. I couldn't predict what was happening when I got the book. I didn't know. I'm like, was this supposed to be like a mystery novel? Was this going to be like a thriller? Was this going to be they go to this health retreat and someone ends up dead kind of thing? And I really didn't know what to expect. But it turned out to be like, these 9 people come to this place all for different reasons, and then basically leave with this new bond and connection formed because of what happens to them collectively at this like health resort. It's interesting. I feel like I've noticed this really strong trend of people who are like, you either like loved it or people hated it. With the people who hated it going like, what was this novel even about? Why did I waste this time reading this novel? It goes nowhere, blah, 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 blah. Because it takes place over the course of like a week, maybe not even an entire week. And a large chunk of it ends up in the last like 48 hours of their stay at this resort. And I don't want to give away anything at all, because if I even hint at it, it will just like ruin the whole setup of the book. But I don't know, I didn't mind it. I really didn't mind it. And I personally really enjoyed seeing how the author took these life portrayals of these 9 different people and interconnected them and made them real and made them all human and vulnerable. And then we got to see how they all reacted and adapted to this like health resort and what was going on. So I don't mind it. Check it out if you want. Check it out if you don't want. But I will say, the other book I read it in 2 days. Like, barely over 24 hours. So I read The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. The Inheritance Games. It is a young adult novel. I absolutely love this book. Absolutely adored this book. It sucked me in from the beginning. I was there to the end. I could not figure out where it was going to go, and I loved that. It's basically this teenage girl who's had a really rough life. She's living with her sister because her mom has died and her dad is not in her life, and she's doing everything she can just to get by, just to make it through high school. And she has planned. He's having a meltdown. She has made all these plans for her future based on what will be the most financially lucrative for her. How much can she get for scholarships? Where can she go for the cheapest? Where can she get in? What career path can she take to earn herself the most money? Blah, 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 blah. Like, she just wants to be able to take care of herself because she's always lived like right on that edge of poverty. And then suddenly this dude dies and leaves her his fortune. And so the whole thing is she's trying to figure out, like, why did he leave me his fortune? What is going on? What is her connection to this family? And of course, he has just absolutely, she's in like the northeast. Sorry, I don't quite remember. But this dude's in Texas, like he's not even anywhere near her. And of course, it's full of beautiful Southern men. The narrator did I listened because it was audiobook only for me. The narrator did a fantastic job of doing the Southern accents for the men of this family, of this rich family. And it's, the dude died and there's 4 grandsons and everyone expected the grandsons to get left everything and they didn't, but you get to meet him and you've got the oldest brother who's got like a savior complex and he just wants to save everyone. And then you've got the next oldest who like just graduated high school. His name is Grayson. The oldest is Nash. Then the next oldest is Grayson. Then you've got like 17-year-old Jameson, who's kind of the wild card. Like he's the rebellious one. And then you've got the youngest who's like 15 or 16, and his name is Alexander, but they all call him Xander. And I know that he was supposed to be older, but I think it was just part of the way, like, his character is so energetic and youthful that I kept, like, perpetually picturing him between the ages of, like, 7 and 9. I wanted him to be this, like, little gentleman, this little kid gentleman with his Southern accent. And then I had to, like, mentally kick myself and be like, he's supposed to be, like, 16. Because he, like, his character, every time his character comes in, he's just so boyish and buoyant and full of ideas. And he's always, like, at one point, the brothers are, like, fighting, and he comes, like, running in, and he's like, "Are you fighting without me?" And I just picture, like, my son being like, "Well, I want to wrestle." So, like, it was so good. I loved the characters. I really, really liked all of them. I thought they were really, really fleshed out. I love that the main character is not this, like, stereotypical female character. She's not nice. She's not necessarily described as, like, overly beautiful or talented. She doesn't have money. At least she's not until she has money, but she's only given it by a stranger. But that's the point. Like, she's very sarcastic. She is very, I don't want to say negative, but she's very pragmatic. She's very disbelieving of her stances. They try and, like, change her or encourage her to live a certain lifestyle now, and she questions everything. Why do I need to do that? What does this have to do with me? They're like, "We have to give you a makeover," and she's like, "Why? What's wrong with me? Like, I like the way I look." And she's very down to earth and very relatable, and I really, really liked her. I think the only thing I wasn't really a fan of was, of course, they had to make kind of a little love triangle, and that bothered me. It was like brother against brother, like the two middle ones, like Grayson and Jameson, because they're only a year or two apart, and she's supposed to be, like, right smack dab, like a junior, like 16, 17, so she could date either one of them. And I'm not a particular fan of that. I don't like pinning family members against each other, but it also just felt a little stretched for one of the characters. Like, it felt kind of weird that she was kind of pushing towards, like, a little hint of a romance towards one of them. I don't want to say too much, but to me, it felt kind of weird. But other than that, I loved this book. I'm just really upset because it's the first of, like, a new series, and the next book is not supposed to come out till September of this year. I listened to it in January. Oh, man. It was so good, though. And she's, like, solving riddles and solving puzzles, and I don't know. It was very, very, very good. I really, really, really liked it. And part of why I finished it so quickly, and I highly recommend that everyone does this. Gosh, this really is a rambly video. But I'm not going to apologize. I had a lot to say. I encourage everyone to do this. I've mentioned I'm trying to work out and get physically stronger for me, because I want to be physically stronger. Not necessarily that I want to be thinner or anything, but I want to be stronger and I want to be healthier. But part of that, though, is also to take care of my brain, not just my body. And so I have also been doing a mental health challenge. And I do focus on the mental health challenges on like my rest days. So I'll work out, and then on a rest day, I focus on one of the mental health challenges. It's supposed to be a whole month of it, but instead of trying to just do one each day, I decided to pull them in on my rest days. So that way I'm not overwhelming myself with a whole bunch of different, mental activities, because I think that could be overwhelming and stressful too if you're trying to do too much for your mental health. Like, you're just going to then overtax your brain and convince yourself, like, but I gotta do this to not stress. And so, no. So I just decided to break it out, and I would pull, 1 or 2 in a week, depending on when my rest days are. And so I'm up to, like, day 6, I think, of, like, the mental health challenge that I am particularly doing. And the day 6 was to have an internet-free night. So this was on my Thursday. Now, obviously, when this first popped up, I think I did what would be a normal reaction, and I kind of panicked. I was like, what? Because I was already on my computer, and I was doing things, and so, you know what? I was like, fine. Let's give it a try. So instead of everything I was doing, I think that was the day I actually did my collage. I did my craft day. And it ended up being so incredibly soothing and enjoyable. So I kind of want to do it again, because it ended up being such a good night. I downloaded the audiobook so that it wasn't technically on the internet. So I had that playing. I put my headphones on. I sat at my desk, but I turned off my internet connection. I turned off my phone, and I just sat and I listened to this audiobook. And I did that collage, and then I stitched, but I just sat, and I got to 80% through that novel in one day, because I started listening to it at work, and then had my internet-free evening, after my son went to bed, so that my downtime hours were just mine, and it was so nice to just unplug and to not worry about checking social media or playing a random game on my phone or being on Facebook. We're sitting there going, oh, what do I want to watch? And spending an unnecessary amount of time trying to pick a YouTube video or a Netflix show. But to just have my choices so limited. But then also to have my choices opened up in front of me. Just because I turned my computer off didn't mean I can journal, I can plan, I can write letters to my pen pals, I can craft, I can stitch, I can paint. There's so much that I can do that I don't, because I'm usually absorbed with doing something on my phone or on my computer with the internet. So that was actually a really nice break, and I think I want to start incorporating that more often and doing internet-free evenings for myself, just because I did find that so pleasurable. And I highly encourage you to give it a try. I mean, it definitely sounds scary, and I can't say that I was wholly gung-ho about it, and it wasn't it wasn't 5 o'clock hit and I turned off the internet. No, I waited till my son was in bed, and from about 8:30 until 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock was whenever I did my internet free. But even just that nice little break was still really good. It was very refreshing, and I definitely recommend trying that. Just give yourself a couple hours to just unplug. So I think you'll find that it's worth it. And with that, I'm going to go. Oh, I've also started the book Dear Edward. This book is going to break me. I know it is. I'm waiting for it to break me. Basically, it's about a 12-year-old boy who is the sole survivor of a plane crash. Yeah. And I thought it was just going to be like, it opened with him and his family getting like on the plane, and then it cut to like him being in the hospital recovering, and I'm like, okay, it's just going to go on there. And then I figured out, because I'm listening to it, that the chapters are jumping back and forth between the day of the flight and then like post crash. So it'll be like, it gives like the time. So it's like day of 7:33 a.m. and it's about his family loading, getting on the plane, and then it jumps, and then it's like July 13th. And then the next chapter, it went back, and it like July 12th. What did I say? And like 10:45 a.m. And so I'm like, oh my goodness. It's jumping back and forth between the past and the present. And as it goes along, we are getting closer and closer, like we are jumping back and getting closer and closer to the time the plane crashes, and then jumping back into the future, and like it's jumping from days to weeks to months down the road as he heals and his life progresses and he's going through this. And I'm like, just that fact alone, I was like, oh no. Oh no, I really thought it was gonna be like plane crash and then then his life. I didn't know we were gonna be doing this like jumping back and forth. So now I know in my head that eventually we get to the crash. It's gonna break me. I just know it's gonna break me. Oh my gosh. So I'll keep you posted. And that is by Ann Napolitano. Napolitano. It's good so far. I think it's gonna be a tearjerker. I'll let you know when I finish it. So with that, I am done now. Officially done. I am gonna go. So I will see you guys soon. I will talk to you in my next video. Until then, stay safe. Have a great day. Happy stitching, happy listening, happy watching, happy reading, happy whatever crafting you are doing, happy whatever not crafting you're doing. I'll see you guys later. Be easy with your hearts.